2 years ago, I made a video exposing Demi Lovato for being Demi Moore, okay? These two characters are identical to each other. They look exactly the same. There's a plethora of connections between these two characters. Now, right after I did that video, they waited a while, but they ended up doing massive damage control. And what was that massive damage control? It was the fact that they put out a movie with Demi Moore. She had came out of the lab, and they put out a movie of them basically mocking the concept that me and Conscious X talk about, but of course mixing truth with lies, because I didn't entirely see the movie, but I know the way they operate. I know the way that they twist the narrative of everything, and at the end of the day, the movie really doesn't matter, because the truth of the fact is she is a character, and 90% of people who hit me up talking about that stupid movie, none of those people will address the fact that in your reality right now, her template is being recycled on a character, Demi Lovato, and they have the exact same freaking name. They've admitted this in people's face, alright? And first off, whenever they do things like the movies, the songs, whatever they do right after being exposed is just damage control, okay? It's complete damage control, and people still haven't caught on to that. Their jaw and the bottom part of their face is identical. If you were to literally like cover the top part of their face and just look at the bottom half, identical, perfect match. I mean, it creeps me out every single time how much these characters look alike. Okay, their eyes are similar in this photo. I always feel like they take similar photos as a clue. I talked about this a very long time ago in my Central C and Eminem video, because I noticed that they had too many photos that were too similar to each other, as if it was scripted for these characters to take the same exact photos damn near, okay? Because as we see with these two photos, both Demi's eyebrows are raised a certain type of way. You know, it's just very similar, the way that they look in these two photos right here. Their jaw is identical, their lips are identical, even the bottom part of their nose is identical. Here's another side-by-side comparison of these two characters. Again, like I said, the bottom part of their face is identical, okay? Identical. It is disgusting how they just recycled that image onto a newer character where they kept the same name. That is insane. This particular comparison that I made, they look identical because they're doing the exact same stare, okay? Whenever they have this image or this look where they're kind of like showing you their dark side, believe that. This photo of Demi Moore that is on the left was a photo that nailed it all and helped me figure out that these two characters were the same. I had seen this photo of Demi Moore online, and literally when I seen it, I was like, that is Demi Lovato, and no one has ever said anything about that. They look identical to each other. It's ridiculous. I mean, come on, these two characters look identical. Now let's get into some connections with these characters, because you guys know already they love to do connections. They love to put everything in people's face. There is not a single group of characters that didn't have some type of connection, okay? They always have connections, some more blatant, some more subtle. This is blatant, all right? So they are both born in the state of New Mexico. Now Demi Moore is born in Roswell, and so we know that Roswell is connected to alien invasions and all these type of conspiracies. I feel like that's very symbolic, because they're admitting with her character that they are non-human, that they're not human, that there's something strange behind all of this, okay? This is similar to the movie They Live, where it's like this could be some other type of life form, mind controlling the masses through making human-like characters to manipulate people, to mind control people, to infiltrate as if they're human, okay? And that is what's going on, because they're making all these characters in order to push a certain agenda. That's why they make so many of them, okay? And they make them in a form which you would accept, which is like yourself, like human, okay? Now I have 2 videos on Patreon explaining how celebrities are made. They are artificial humanoids, okay? Understand that. Artificial humanoids walk around every day amongst you. I have videos on Patreon about that. Understand, okay? These people infiltrate. So she's from Roswell. Huge connection towards some other life form that is dictating the minds and the thoughts and the way of the life form that inhabits this place, which are humans, okay? And then right here we see that Demi Lovato is from Albuquerque, New Mexico, all right? And Albuquerque, New Mexico, that's crazy because if you guys ever watched Breaking Bad, it takes place there, right? And Rich the Kid made a song called Plug Walk, and in Plug Walk he was recreating Breaking Bad, but he had an alien in it, okay? And Roswell is connected to aliens. All right, so that's a crazy connection. Most won't even catch on to that because it's so encoded and it's sneaky. All right, it's a sneaky connection. So yeah, they are both born in the state of New Mexico. Next connection. So both of these characters, their birth number equates to 2. All right. So Demi Moore is born on the 11th, which is 2. Okay. And we see that Demi Lovato is born on the 20th, which is 2, okay? Because 0 has no value. That is a major connection. They do this stuff on purpose, okay? They're putting this stuff in your face. Understand that. I provide numerology readings on the Enlightenment tier. People love them. They're amazing. I recommend you guys go hit me up on Patreon, Enlightenment tier, and Celestial tier also. And you can get a reading. Just because they use numbers for their own weird gains doesn't mean that numbers aren't connected to you and have their own significant meanings. No number is inherently evil. Numbers are just neutral things here, and it could be used for evil or good. And no matter what, everybody's connected to a number, okay? So here's another blatant connection between these two characters. I mean, seriously, if you haven't caught on to this connection, if you don't find this to be weird, why they look the same, why they have the same exact name, they're both named Demi, all right? Demi means half, okay? So they're admitting that they're half. All right, they're half whatever and half human, okay? They are artificial humanoids, okay? They are infiltrating. They occupy a human vessel in order to manipulate you and con you and make you think they're real, but there's something else on the other side of that, okay? And that's open to anyone's perception of what they think it is, okay? So here we go again, one of my favorite riddles, one of my favorite type of connections, which is same characters, different font, okay? I talked about this in my Selena, Nicki Minaj, Cardi B, and Shaka Khan video, how Shaka Khan was with Prince and Nicki Minaj was with Drake, okay? So Drake and Prince are the same, Nicki Minaj and Shaka Khan are the same. Right here is Rob Lowe and Demi Moore in the photo on the left, and in the photo on the right, that is Zac Efron and Demi Lovato, okay? So same characters, different font. They do this on purpose. This is mockery. This is not by chance. It's not by coincidence. These two characters that are on the left were big actors in the 80s, the 90s, right? In the new world, in the 2000s, they create new characters off of their image, place them both on Disney Channel for them to also have photos together and be close. What is the chances of that, okay? They're always placing their image in newer things. Okay? They're always recycling their image into the new world, the new agenda, the new trend, okay? So for an example, every single character that is an A-list celebrity, a B, Z, whatever, they have a TikTok character, okay? They have an Instagram character. They have a streamer character. They have a YouTube character. They have a rapper character. They have a character in every single thing that you can think about because they want their faces to be so familiar, their image to be so familiar so that you're hooked. It always will be familiar. You will always be hooked to everything the media has to offer because the image is so familiar. Now, I don't know if this is connected to reincarnation or whatever because it's a bit weird because it's like, how would a Gen Z that's watching a Gen Z or a millennial that's watching Disney Channel that sees Zac Efron really get hooked if they weren't really around when Rob Lowe was popular, you know? So I don't know what's going on there, but all I know is that they have to keep recycling these images for familiarity purposes so that you could be hooked, all right? So here's another side-by-side comparison. I actually think it is disgusting how much Rob Lowe looks like Zac Efron, okay? Conscious X has a video on Zac Efron, and I will be making one soon on this character because this is absolutely disgusting, okay? Same characters, different font, All right, they do this a lot, and you gotta sit and start questioning, why do they keep putting themselves in every single industry, recycling the same images? Subconscious programming. All right, here's another side-by-side comparison. Already with Demi Moore's character, I see like 100 people in this character. That's another thing. Most people couldn't even comprehend that every single character is the same that they make, because all of them have to have that familiar image so that you could be hooked regardless or not. So all of them are mixed with each other, but people aren't ready for that. And I only know about that because of years of doing this. You finally start realizing that. So Demi Moore is so many people. Demi Lovato branches off to being so many people. I said this in my last video, that they have so many characters, okay? Here's another side-by-side comparison, and it's still going on to this day. That is a new photo on the right of Demi Lovato. She still looks like her character, still looks like her, identical to her. Here's another side-by-side comparison. Demi Lovato cutting her hair off was purposely done. There was a certain time period in Demi Moore's career where her hair was cut off. And look how they repeat that, okay? This is not a coincidence. This is not random. They do this stuff on purpose. And once you understand that, you will see everything clearly. They do everything on purpose. Here's another side-by-side comparison. Identical. Identical. Again, these two characters are so much alike. The haircut, you know. Another comparison that I made the last time. Now let's talk about the next character, which is Cleo Soul. All right. Now I talked about Cleo Soul the last time, and Cleo Soul sounds like kill your soul. Like, that sounds weird, but that's what that sounds like. So let's look at this connection that I never noticed. Demi Lovato is a Leo, right? Cleo has Leo in it. That's crazy. That is a nasty riddle. See, they do this stuff. Why would one of their newer push characters be called Cleo, and the previous push character before her was Demi Lovato, who's a Leo? What is the chances of that? This stuff is purposely done. You have to wake up. Here's comparisons of Demi Lovato and Cleo. They look so much alike, identical. I can't believe they just put this out here and they just put this in people's face. I mean, this image, this look has been recycled so much, and they have so many more characters than the ones that I'm listing right now. I'm just listing the most identical ones, the crazy ones, the ones that are in your face that are sick, and the ones that I know about, because there's so many other characters they put on the world stage that you guys be commenting about that I honestly don't even know exist. But shout out to you guys for commenting additional people. Another comparison, ridiculous. It's just sick. Like, every time I see Cleo, I see Demi Lovato. And there's certain things that are different, but these differences are only slight, and they're purposely done to give you an illusion of choice. They make you think that you're seeing a different person. Everything is illusion. They are tricksters, okay? They're tricking your mind that these are two different people, but they're not. Like, for an example, they'll make Cleo's nose a little bit wider than Demi's nose. That's purposely done. But they'll keep Demi's nose the same width as Demi Moore's nose. Now let's get into something I talked about in my last video. The fact that Demi Lovato's younger self and even her current image is mixed with Selena, okay? She is mixed. They do this a lot to create a difference. They could not publish her character looking exactly like Demi Moore and keeping the same name, keeping the New Mexico connection, keeping all these connections. They couldn't publish her looking exactly like her because people would catch on and it just would be disgusting. They have to create the illusion. And usually when they're creating the illusion, like I talked about with Cleo, how her nose is wider, that connects her to a whole nother group of characters, because it's nothing ever new. Because they always need you attached to them in some way. It's something from another character that was big. We see that Demi Lovato and Demi Moore are two different races, okay? Purposely. This is to create a difference in their image and in their audience. Also, when they decide to make Demi Lovato Latin descent, I don't know what she is. When they wanted to make her more different looking, to appeal to a wider demographic, they had to go and pull a character that matches that, and the character that they pulled was Selena. All right, now I talked about this in my last video. Like I said, Selena has a branch of a lot of other characters. Nicki Minaj has a branch of a plethora of other characters. Shaka Khan, I said this before, It is astonishing and crazy how many characters they have. You can go down a whole family tree of characters. It is ridiculous. So we see right here their smile, their nose. When Demi Lovato was younger, her nose was wider. As she got older, it got smaller, and she looks so much like Demi Moore with the smaller nose versus right here where her nose is wider. These two photos are identical, and they did this on purpose. Every single one of Selena's characters smiles the exact same. They all have the Selena smile. There is photos of Nicki Minaj, Cardi B, Shaka Khan, all with that smile, and I've always matched it up every single time because it is a clue and they leave that behind. Go check out this video. It's a very good video. There's an old video explaining everything, but the new video is straight to the point and simple, and it's a very good video. Connections is wild. But understand that she's mixed, and they did that purposely. So yes, Demi Lovato and Demi Moore are the exact same, and they mocked you by giving them the same name, Demi meaning half, and they're mocking that they're half human, okay? And the additional character is Cleo, Soul, okay? She looks identical to Demi Lovato, mainly because of her background, her racial background, that they purposely enforced to make her way more different than their older character, which is Demi Moore, okay? And Demi Moore has so many characters, man. I see so many characters. And people have to understand this. Different stages of characters' lives is other characters they've made, okay? Now that's even crazier. So let's think about a character in particular. Michael Jackson. Every single stage of Michael Jackson's life where he looks different, kid Michael, teenage Michael, young adult Michael, white Michael, half dead Michael, all of those characters, all different stages of that character is different characters. For an example, my video on Candace Owens being Michael Jackson. Candace Owens is young Michael Jackson. She's not old or white Michael Jackson. White Michael Jackson is Sandra Bullock, okay? And it just keeps on going. Young boy is not kid Michael Jackson. He's the in-between of the teenage and the young adult Michael Jackson. You see what I'm saying? The list goes on with how many characters his character has, because the more changes in their appearance, the more characters that were made off of each time period. Okay, so thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you check out the Patreon, join the Enlightenment and Celestial tier for a numerology reading. Just hit me up, DM me, and I will help you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I appreciate you guys so much.